Well, we're going to do, well, Marie's not here to read the mission statement, right?
Oh,
But I
Right.
guess one of us
I have
could.
it pulled up on my phone if you want.
Okay. Do you want to kick it off and do that?
Or you can do that. Wibble's mission is to provide an inspiring forum for women to explore and advance their creative development, to promote their work in the marketplace, and to infuse the community with their spirit of cooperation and invention.
amen.
Woo, love that.
And I guess we move into board announcements, don't we, from here?
Exactly right.
Um,
Well,
should we
let's see if
start with anyone in
let's
particular?
introduce our new members.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Since Melissa is not here, I need for you to just kind of give us a little wave if you're here as a new member so that we can get to know you tonight.
So Natalie.
Natalie?
Hi. I don't think I'm that new, but this is my first meeting.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I've been a member for a
Fantastic.
year, but I've only been able to
Thanks for
attend.
joining. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a full-time graphic designer at the University of Houston, but I do watercolors and sell them in the Houston area. And I think I'm supposed to be doing a member highlight in June, but uh, I forgot who I was speaking to and I deleted the email. So
Ah,
Uh, that would be you,
yeah, that's
Pat.
me. That's
okay,
me. You're July, I think.
July.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll get back to you. If you deleted the email, I'll send you a new one.
okay, thank you. And I'm getting ready to move to Livingston, so my studio is it's empty. That's why it's blurred.
Mm. Mhm. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I won't be able to stay the whole time either. So this.
Oh, well, I hope you can stay
Stay while you can. Stay while
Yeah.
you can.
stay as long as you
Uh,
can. All right. We already heard from Lucy. Is there anything else you want to tell us about yourself, Lucy?
Let's see. Well, I'm happy to be a member. I worked in the liturgical design uh, field for a couple of decades, and my last installation, I thought, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to get out and make my own art. And so I've been doing that since, let's see, about 10 years, 15 years.
Mm.
And I shared a space, I think I told y'all earlier, with Selma Cooper down at the docks. And then I moved to Winter Street. And I've been there for uh, almost 20 years. I've been there almost 20 years. So, and right now I'm doing printmaking. And I've gotten addicted to gel plate printing. I've just really enjoyed it. So I'm doing gel plate prints and collage. And I just have a great cul-de-sac with Marie Casamayor, my next door neighbor, and Mary Belagia is across the hall from me, and Olga is kind of catty corner, and Rhonda Lankos is my other next door neighbor, and it's just a wonderful group. We just love it. It's just wonderful. So anyway, and I've wanted to join WIVLA for years, but I just never got around to reaching out. And so I'm so happy to be here. I think I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to do that collaboration with Ellen Seaton.
Yay.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so
oh,
I'm really
fantastic.
excited about that. We're going to meet next week. So,
Hey, that'll be a
yeah.
great
Great.
effort.
But
Yay.
now I have to go. So
Okay.
Okay.
got somebody coming over for dinner tonight with my husband. So I
Okay.
guess I better get off. But I just wanted to tell y'all hello, and I'm happy to know you all, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you all better. So
We are
Thanks for
too.
joining.
good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. And Gail is here, so
It's here.
hey, Gail. All right.
Any other new members that we're missing?
Members?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Let's hear what's going on in our literary world.
I have a new computer. I can see and talk to you guys now for the first time. And
Yay!
so let's not jinx it. It literally
We're happy
arrived this
for you.
afternoon. So I'm very excited about that. It's
Awesome. We all
no
are.
more craziness. So three things I want to bring up for the this month and in the near future. One is that we have the WIVLA book group that's happening on Saturday, and it's a little kind of special one because our fabulous Gwen, our other literary co-chair, we're reading her newest book. So even though you may or may not have finished it or even gotten the book, come join us. It's on the WIVLA calendar. It's Saturday from 2 to 4. And we'd love to have you there to listen to Gwen talk about her book and get all of our questions answered. So that's one fun thing. The other thing that we have coming up is on the 30th, which is, I believe, let me check. It's a Thursday. We're doing a Zoom celebration for the end of April Poetry Month, National Poetry Month. And it's an event called Sparkle. And you can read more about it on the WIVLA calendar, but basically we're asking people to sign up if they want to read any of their poems that just have a sparkle theme. Up to you to interpret what that means for you. But we'll have readings at the beginning of our time together on Zoom. And then Brooke is going to do a special group event with us. So even if you're not a poet that wants to read, you can come and listen, and then you can come join in the fun with Brooke's poetry experience. And finally, I want to remind folks that our anthology is kicking off for this year in May. For those of you that were around to see the original one that we put out last year, we're doing it again, and we're expanding out to more categories. So we've got fiction, we've got the cover art competition, all of that's out on the website. You can check out the prospectus on how you can enter. We will have that opening up next month, and May 15th through the end of July. So start writing your stories, your poems, your flash. Get ready to put it together. And the theme this year is power. So there's a description of giving you some ideas of what power means out on the website, out in the prospectus, but mark your calendars to start thinking about submitting. We'd love to have as many submissions as we can, both in the art and the literary. Hope to see you guys at any and all of that.
All right. Thank you, Denise. Let's move on to Kat and tell us what's going on in our visual.
Well, very exciting this week. We filled up our Wild collaboration.
Woo!
This is a bit of a record. We weren't expecting it to fill as quickly as it did, and this gives us some hope for 2028 being able to do this even in a bigger way. I know there were a few folks who didn't quite make it in, and we're sad, but we're also really excited that so many people want to be a part of WIVLA and want to do things with us. That's exciting and always good to see growth. So things are positive, and yeah, that's what we're working on. Just making sure that everybody gets their stuff in by June 24th. And yeah, we're all set. We're all set for a good full venue. So
And there will be t-shirts,
and there will
special
be t-shirts. T-shirt is gorgeous. Susan Meek's cheetah on the front. They're really gorgeous. And we'll have those. Those are in process right now. So very exciting. Gwen's done a great job of getting those sent off.
All right. That's exciting news about the collaboration. That's one of the best things we do, I think, for WIVLA. Okay. Um,
Can I mention the newsletter deadline?
absolutely you can.
So normally our deadline for newsletter items is the 20th, but since we're having the meeting today on the 21st, if you have any news or any items for the newsletter, if you could get it to me by Friday, that would still give me time to fit it in. And you would send that to newsletter@wivla.org, which I can also put in the chat.
For those of us who are new, can you tell us what type of things you want for the newsletter?
So there's a whole section on like member news where anybody who's like had something published or had some art accepted somewhere, they just share what's going on. So primarily that's what I get sent towards the end of the
Thank you.
but anything really. And I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Any other board members have anything they'd like to report to our members before we move on to our program?
I have a question. Has the weekend event filled up for September?
Nope, we still have a few spots left for our first in a long time retreat. We're going to be heading out of town to celebrate a long weekend together, doing fun activities brought to you by WIBLA members. So it's an overnight retreat, shared room situation. All the information's out on the WIBLA website, and it's September 11th, 12th, and 13th. So Friday through Sunday. So please check it out and sign up as soon as you can because space is limited.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that for sure. All right, I think I'm gonna turn this over to Kathy. And
Let's go. Okay.
let's go with Echo.
Let's go with Echo. All right. Well, many of you know that we've had the Echo grants provided through WIVLA to our members every year since 1999. And it's two $1,000 educational and cultural opportunity grants, one for visual art and the other for literary art. And so we had everyone who wanted to submit an application. You have to have been a member for a consecutive 2 years and never had the ECHO grant previously. And so we got a really good number of people applying for the 2026 award. And at the end of the presentations, Rebecca will pull for the literary and Gail will pull for the visual winners who will receive those grants for this year. But in the meantime, we want to hear what our winners from 2025 have done with the money that they received and how that contributed to their practices, their art and literary practices. So the way we're going to do this tonight, we've got both of them. It's Rebecca Chirak and Gail Plunkett were our winners. And we're going to start with Rebecca, and she's going to do a presentation and share with us, all of the good things that she's done with her grant. And then we'll open it up if we have time for a few questions, and then move to Gail. And then Gail will make her presentation. And then after that, we'll do the drawing. Questions? You ready? Okay, let's go.
share my screen. Okay. Bear with me. It's gonna pop up. I'm sharing my screen. You're probably just seeing my Zoom. Give me 1 second. Got my presentation. Okay, is everybody seeing my presentation now?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. So my number one need was, sorry, there we go, technology. You may notice I'm doing this on my phone. There's a reason. Okay, so the part one of technology was my device. Before the grant, I was using as my main device a Chromebook that I bought used in 2021 for $179. It did serve me really well. Like I have no complaints about the Chromebook, but by the time I got the Echo grant, it couldn't even handle a Zoom meeting. Which is why like I'm still in the habit of joining these on my phone because that was the only device I had that could even do Zoom. And I'm not very techy, but I tried to put what I thought were the relevant specs here. It had 4 GB of RAM and a 32 GB hard drive. So the first thing I did with the grant was buy an actual laptop, not a Chromebook, not used. I went to Costco and I got a Dell laptop. And I put the specs here. I don't know that much about the specs and what that means, but I can join a Zoom with video on and it doesn't lag. And then the biggest thing was that now I can use writing software. So that is part two. So before the grant, I was writing in Google Docs, which was fine. It is free. It auto saves. It keeps the version history. So if you want to like look back and see previous versions or restore something that you edited out and then later you regret it, you can do that. It's cloud-based, so you could use it on any device. Like no matter where I was, if I could log into my Google account, I could access my writing. And it was easy to share, so you can collaborate really easily on Google Docs. So I could share with editors, I could share with beta readers, I could share with my kids and make them tell me if my teenage character was like cringe or or not. So it worked fine. But formatting an ebook on Google Docs is a huge pain. Like the formatting of my first novel, there are parts where I honestly was like, I give up. Like this part's just going to be a little wonky, and there's nothing I can do about it. If you're writing something like a novel, really large documents become really slow to load. Like once it's over, I'd say maybe 80 pages, it takes forever to load the whole thing. If you want to revise, you have to scroll through page after page. It's not that easy. You can't really do any sort of outlining or any kind of like high level review or something visual. Like you have to do that somewhere else. I was doing it by hand on paper while I was using Google Docs as my primary writing software. So once I had an actual computer, I was able to purchase Scrivener, which is not a huge purchase. It's only, I think $60 is full price. And I had a coupon code, so I only paid like $45. And I might be like the only literary member that wasn't already on Scrivener. I don't know. But for me, this was a really big deal because I had only the Chromebook for a very long time. And Scrivener does not have a Chromebook version. It has a Mac version and a Windows version, and that was it. And I had been like looking at it for years and thinking, oh, maybe they're gonna come out with a Chromebook version, or like maybe I'm somehow gonna luck into like a really cheap laptop somewhere and I'll be able to use this. But neither of those things had happened. So once I had like a real laptop, I was able to get Scrivener. I was super excited about it. So it is designed for long form writing. So if you write novels, like this works really, really well. It has goal tracking, which is a huge deal for me. I used to do NaNoWriMo. If any of our literary members are familiar with that, it stands for National Novel Writing Month. So you would basically write 50,000 words in the month of November. Like it was like an annual event. Lots of people would do it. So you'd have a whole crowd kind of all doing the same thing. And the goal side of it was huge. Like there'd be a tracker that you would update every day. You would try to hit 1,666 words every day, because if you did that, you would get to the 50,000 words within the end of the month. I am hugely motivated by things like that, even though, they don't, I just like having like the gold star, right? Like check, I did it for that day. So Scrivener has that built in. You can set writing goals for yourself and then meet them and give yourself the little gold star. Um, yeah, I don't know what that says about me that motivates me so much, but it really does.
Never.
And then it has some really amazing organizational features. So you can add your research sort of like in parallel to what you're actively writing. Timelines, outlining, you can lay out scenes. It's like a digital index card, like you can do like a visual right in the software, which is really, really nice. So the only cons that I would say Scrivener has is the device requirement. Like you do have to have an actual computer. I think an iPad works as well because of it you can use iOS, like it can do Macs. But I didn't have an iPad either. It's not free. It's only $60 full price. You can get a coupon code pretty easily. NaNoWriMo, while it still existed, would give you a coupon code, I think 25% off at the end of the month. And I know I said, well, NaNoWriMo still existed. The organization sort of imploded about a year and a half ago. But there's another one called Novel November that's very, very similar. I mean, they just tried to recreate the old NaNoWriMo. And it also had the coupon code. So I participated in that in November and I got my coupon code and I got Scrivener for about $45. The only other two cons that I would say Scrivener has, there is a learning curve, like learning how to use the software and how to use all of the features. If you have existing writing, you can import it, but you may have to like initially sort of organize it before you can really use all of the features that it has. And then I would say it doesn't have the same cloud-based features for sharing that Google Docs did. But to me, all of the pros are really big pros, and that's like a very minor con. So I got the laptop, I got Scrivener. I had a lot of fun learning how to use Scrivener and getting my second and third novels going in Scrivener. So that was sort of the main thing that I did. And then that is the website for Scrivener. And after I'm done presenting, I'll put that in the chat as well if anyone hasn't heard of Scrivener and wants to check it out. And then the second sort of biggest need, I think this is what I wrote my application saying I would do, was marketing and developing a website. So for the website, I registered a domain name. I played around with Squarespace and WordPress, but I haven't settled on one product. I'm still kind of learning on the website thing. Whoops, sorry, went too fast. Then marketing, I joined the Women in Publishing Summit. That's a link to the website, which I'll also post in the chat once I'm done. But it's literally womeninpublishingsummit.com. That's an annual event. They do it in March. It's fully online. You retain access to all of the recordings if you join it. So because it's in March, but it's like pretty much during a work week. A couple of the days are weekend days, but most of the days are weekdays. So if you have a full-time job like I do, you may not be able to like drop everything and attend all of the sessions live. So it's really important to me that the recordings are still accessible afterwards. And then they have ongoing networking and like supplementary events for anybody who joins it basically all year. So I've really enjoyed that group. And I feel like I got a lot from it. I also, this was a huge thing for me. It's very tiny and like as a line item on the grant money, it was also tiny. But I signed up for a small local authors event. That's huge for me. Like I know I need to do things like that. And it was such a big leap to actually sign up for one. And then unfortunately I had a flight delayed and I missed it because I didn't make my connecting flight and I was stuck in Chicago. But just the fact that I signed up for it and I was like psyched up and ready to do it was a big deal. So the next time that event comes around, I think I'm going to be good to go. And then just for fun, I did some visual art things. These, I find that doing visual things helps me with my writing just because it gets creativity flowing. You know, it's like if I do something creative that's not like the main thing I'm trying to do, and it sort of detaches me from the idea of trying to do it well, like I'm just doing it for fun, just to enjoy myself, it kind of loosens things up. Um, like I can get rid of writer's block that way. And it just helps me be creative in general. So I also signed up for a jelly plate printing class at Artist Gallery. It was super fun. After the class, I got my own gel plate. And then for the Poetry Postcard Fest, which I know some of our members do participate in, I can put the link for that in the chat afterwards as well if other people are interested. But for the Poetry Postcard Fest in July and August, I did my own gel print postcards and really enjoyed that. And then I joined a year-round collage class that I like the algorithm just threw it up in my way and it sounded interesting. I have not done any, well, I haven't completed any of the collage projects yet, but it's another deal where like you retain access to all of the lessons and recordings after it's done. So I will have 52 different like collage activities waiting for me whenever writer's block hits me. So my main takeaway was the Echo Fund gave me some freedom to play and experiment with things with sort of just that sense of like I'm free to try things. It probably like based on how everything shook out from my first novel, I would have had to complete 3 more novels before I would have felt like I had the space, the money to just like try this stuff. So yeah, having the grant was really nice. Like it let me kind of play around and try things that I would not have tried for much longer if I had not had it. And I really super appreciate the Scrivener. Like that has been amazing. So thank you to
That's
Whip.
fantastic. Yes.
And that I don't know how to stop sharing. Hold on. Let me. There we go. I think.
Hit the oh, there you go. That's fantastic, Rebecca. Wow, what a year.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Okay, and now I promise all those links in the chat, so I'm going to be busy trying to like.
Oh, okay, sure.
A little
But
bit.
Does anybody have any questions or comments before we move to the next?
Pretty impressive.
It is. You know, I was curious about the learning curve for Scrivener. I mean, I have it, I downloaded it,
Uh-huh.
but I think you were right in saying it's really designed for more long form, do you think?
Yeah, like for me, well, I don't know because I already like my second novel, I already had like at least 30,000 words of it in Google Docs that I had to like import and then organize. If you were just starting from the beginning, maybe that wouldn't feel like so much of a pain.
Yeah, I think you can
That
set up
probably helped, yeah.
templates and things for the different types of writing you want to do. You can set up templates and
okay.
things there. It does have a pretty big learning curve, though. I stopped using it because it just annoyed me too much. I just went back to my old way of doing things, you know. But it does have all those features that Rebecca was mentioning are really nice. I just wanted to spend more time writing than trying to figure out how to work the stupid software, so I gave up.
Yeah, I have a draft in there I may return to now. I'm inspired by you.
Actually, I'd love to say quickly, you made that $1,000 really stretch. That's amazing.
And couponing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
that's awesome.
The Women Looking Summit, you can get it at half price. Like I should have mentioned that maybe, but like if you watch out, they do. I think it's like early bird pricing maybe, but like don't pay full price for that. Get half price.
I love the way visual art informs or taps into another part of your brain and maybe loosens it up, or I just think that is so true that going another direction
as I go, like I
sometimes get you going.
yeah. And especially trying something totally new that I've never done before, because then you don't expect it to be good and you can just,
Play. You know
yeah.
how many times you said the word play? I wasn't counting, but play was an important part of this process for you.
Yeah, and the benefit that you said at the end is that it gave you a little bit of freedom. Like you didn't have to worry that you wouldn't have the money for that class or the money for that
Yeah, it
computer. Yeah.
wasting something that I had like scrimped, yeah, that was
Mhm.
that was nice.
Collage informs, it informs me for my writing. It's a really interesting art form. You can even do newspaper photos and do all kinds of things with that. So keep it up. It's amazing.
Can you put a link to the class, the collage class that you took?
Yeah, I'll find it. Okay, let me quickly write down what I promised to put links for to leave something off. Then
Yes. And does anybody have any more questions for Rebecca? Otherwise, we'll move on to Gail.
I want to know more about her novels and where to get them.
Yeah.
I guess I'll put that link too.
Okay, great.
Work through all my weird feelings about marketing.
Practice with us.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
We're a safe place for you to try that out.
Exactly. Did you write another novel then, or you have like some drafts that you're working on?
I'm like almost done with the second one, and then I got this super fun idea for a third one that I started working on when I probably shouldn't have. I should have finished the second one first, but it is what it is. Yeah.
I heard that happen, so
yeah,
it's all good. Awesome. Any more questions? All right. Okay, Gail.
Right then. Well, let's see. Let me get this out of the way. Okay. I used my ECHO grant as seed money to launch a small business, which I named Square Circle Artworks. Its purpose is to showcase my writing and sell my writing and artwork, both the originals and reproductions. I got into reproductions pretty heavily because I'm very slow at producing art, and so I wanted a way to have more product to sell. So my launch day was just a little over a week ago, and it included setting up a website and renting a booth at the Katy Spring Market, where I had my first ever sales of anything. Yay! I have a few slides of both the website and the booth to show you, but I want to read a quote and talk about a quote first before I go there. It's from the I Ching, hexagram 46, and this is what it says. The many small things she achieves will amount to great things in the end. The reason I'm sharing this now is because it was a big part of, well, there were a handful of quotes, and this was one of them, that were a big part of what helped me keep going through to the end of the project. So I want to say, based on that, the many small things she achieves will amount to great things. Before I read before I show my slides to you, because I hope you'll see what I see, that a small beginning this small beginning I'm about to show you has the potential to become something much bigger. I can see objectively where my lack of experience and resources shows with what I've done so far. But this quote kept me grounded in the fact that we all have to start wherever we are. with whatever we've got, and that whatever we can do at any given time is enough. I had to keep feeling that to keep going. So here we go. We're going to figure out how to get my slides going.
There it is.
Okay.
Okay. Looks beautiful. Thank you.
All right. At some point, I'm going to talk about technology and me. So you'll understand what that was all about. All right. So this first slide is the banner I designed for my booth at the Katy Spring Market, and I used all the same components in my business cards and in a bookmarker that I made to give away. All the same components, just configured differently. And I may learn to use some kind of software where I can make it look less stiff. But the only way I knew to do it was with PowerPoint. I don't know any of the other design software. And I needed it to have, I couldn't just hand paint everything because I needed to have that good, sharp text, So maybe I'll figure out how to make it swishier looking or something, or even how to paint parts of it and then reproduce it as a whole thing later. Let's see. Oh yeah. I just have to do that. This is the booth that I had at Katy Spring Market. It's got originals, both originals and reproductions. It's not a very great photograph, but it's the best I could manage. There's various forms of reproductions. There's canvas, acrylic, metal, foam board, 3 sizes of posters, and mugs. And there's a few originals that I haven't yet made reproductions of. This is another very bad photograph. I had set out to try to do a few photographs of the grouping with different originals have different reproductions made. So I wanted to group them together and have photographs to put on my website. But, and here, the next slide is the same thing, just another attempt at a good photo. But the funny thing, I didn't keep going, partly because the photos weren't coming out all that great, either because of the environment or because of my photo skills, phone photo skills. But so I was about to stop doing that anyway, when all of a sudden there was a fire alarm and we had to evacuate the building. And that was that. The show was over. We got to take our personal belongings outside and stand in the rain for a couple of hours, and then go get, if anybody had left anything, they could go back and get personal stuff, and then go home for the night. We had to go back the next day to get our stuff. So that was fun and interesting. Let's see. I keep forgetting where to go. There. And this is the first page you would come to on my website. Hello? Oh, I thought I heard somebody say Gail. Okay.
Oh, we're still here.
Okay. As you can see, it's the type of website where you can join as a member. And if you do, it's the kind of thing where you can do more things than the general public. You can comment on posts and access chat rooms and that sort of thing. I know some of you have already joined, and I really, truly appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. And if anybody else wants to support me by joining, just go to the website is, let's see, I want to go back to the website is patreon.com/squareworks artworks, square circle artworks with no circles, of course. And then back to here, click join for free. not doing any paid memberships. I may sometime in the future, but not right now. All you have to provide is your name and email address. After you give them that, then you just need to make sure you go to the email they'll send and confirm your email address, and that will activate your membership. And if anybody new goes and joins, thank you, thank you. Okay. There isn't much there yet, but now that I've finished preparing for the booth, being in the booth, preparing and learning how to use this website, I always have a steep learning curve when it comes to new technology, but I got there. And so I finished all that and this presentation. Now I'm really looking forward to getting into adding much more to the website. So right now there's just a couple of posts. This one, welcome new members, is really is grayed out, as you see, unless you become a member. It's one of the things the general public can't access. So those couple of posts and a couple of chats. This I expect to have a lot of fun with. The first chat is just to find out what people are interested in talking about on the website, for me to put out there and for others too, which they can do in chats. But there's the conversation also takes place in comments, so I want to know what's on people's mind. And I'm a huge fan of ekphrastic writing. So I created the ekphrastic zone, and in my posts, I'll encourage people to participate in that and do some ekphrastic writing, maybe to my work or whatever they want to. And last slide, collections. I get it's the same posts show up, can be moved into here just for easy access. If you are interested a lot in ekphrastic writing and I write posts about it, then I'll start a collection for ekphrastic writing. So, and all these things are accessible through the navigation. There's several ways you can get to each of these, but the quick, easy way is through the navigation. What's that called? Navigation bar or whatever. At the top. So that's it for my slides. So I'm going to stop sharing. That was so easy. And I'll get back to some more non-visual information about my echo experience. So now that the launch is behind me, and I've made a modest beginning toward realizing a dream that I've carried around for many years. On the surface, the dream was to start a business, but what really occupied my imagination was more about building a bold, fulfilling life that was really focused and centered on my deepest sense of who I am. But fast forward to now, I'm 70 and still astonished at the way a dream can be so clear for so long and consistent, and yet it just sits in there dormant like a seed buried real deep. It's just lying there waiting. But for what? What is it waiting for? The answer for me was very shrouded in the complex mystery of life, but it's a question that some of us really have to ask, really need to ask, and ask it over and over if necessary, for as long as it takes. For me, that was about 50 years to understand what I was waiting for before I could launch my business, my dream business. And by the time the Echo grant came my way, I had already come to understand what was holding me back. It had everything to do with self-constructed barriers, identifying them. And even though they're self-constructed, people come into your life, things happen that are the underlying source of them. So I had to figure that out. What's behind these barriers? And another very important step was figuring out who needed to be forgiven. Who was I really not feeling good about? And so I got a lot of forgiveness granting done, including to myself, forgiving myself. And and once I did a lot of those things, I recently, in fact, only recently, started experiencing some really new and surprising periods and moments of more confidence and faith in myself. So I know the barriers are getting wobbly, but they're still there. I think it was a matter of synchronicity that I got the ECHO grant when I did, because I think those barriers were just waiting for the right opportunity for me to give them one last shove to topple them over for good. So thank you, Wivla, for enabling me to launch my dream business by providing the opportunity at just the right time to give those barriers that final shove. And that brings us to the last part of my presentation. I wrote, let's see, the first thing I did to prepare the launch of my business of Square Circle Artworks was to write a sort of self-coaching speech based on the key questions of another hexagram from the I Ching, hexagram 45. It's that hexagram, well, all the hexagrams in the version I use of the I Ching start with questions. And the questions are what I built my coaching speech on. The questions are, what is asked of you, and what are you investing in? So I wrote, let's see. Oh, so here's what I wrote to coach myself before I really got started on the project to launch the business. I wrote, it is a simple thing I ask of myself, to decline to be deterred and to calmly stick to my vision, to invest all of myself in the chance to live my remaining years as my true self. So that's me coaching myself. Go, girl. It sounds simple, but it's not easy. It helped me through to the launch day. So that's just, I told you all that just as a prelude to what I would like to read to you, what I wrote for this project that just grew out of preparing for this project. It's a melodramatic and I hope humorous fictional true story that I hope will convey the emotions and psychological transformations I experienced as I did the work to launch the business. I call the story Crossing Demon Land. I'm afraid that it's a little too long, so I'm going to read fast. I am just going to read it flat out. I tried to time it, and I'd looked down, and my timer I had stopped it at some point and didn't realize it. Started it again, and then it said 3 minutes when that I'd been going for 3 minutes, and I know it's much longer than that, but I don't know how much. So I will stop rambling and I will just start reading. Crossing Demon Land. Receiving the ECHO grant was like having an invisible hand take hold of mine to lead me across the invisible line that has always divided my psyche. On one side of the line is the life that I've always known in my soul is the life I want. On the other side are demons, determined to make sure I don't get it. I know these demons. They've been tormenting me for years. I'm sure they noticed my first step across the line and instantly went on alert. I had approached the line many times before, but I had never dared to cross it until now. They knew something was coming. I had always been so easy to control before, but they knew that might be coming, but they knew that might be about to change because there I was inside their territory. They weren't really worried, really just being cautious. What were the odds that I could ever present a real control problem after all these years? Still, I had crossed that line. One moment I was carefully following their rule that I am not to invest in myself because spending my money that way is unfair to my husband. And besides, I needed to hold on to as much of it as possible because at any given time something terrible might happen that I would need it for. So said the demons. The next moment, I had $1,000 handed to me with the stipulation that I could only use it to explore and advance my creative development, promote my work in the marketplace, and infuse my community with my spirit of cooperation and invention. Well, all right, I said to myself, I can do those things. I don't know of any rule that says I can't invest in myself with someone else's money. So began my journey across Demonland. It started out light and breezy and fun, but it wasn't long before the demons saw their first opportunity to ruthlessly remind me of another one of their stupid rules. After 2 months of deliberating with myself, I had finally decided that I'd use the money to start a business to sell reproductions of my artwork. Having decided that from the start, I knew exactly what type of reproductions I would begin with: blank journals for writing and sketching, with my original artwork reproduced on the cover. I designed the books to stand out from the crowd. I loved my design so much. I set my heart on those books, made just like my jaw-dropping design, and set to work researching how to get them made. It didn't take much research online and face-to-face with printers and binders and paper suppliers to know that my design was not going to happen. I never imagined a blank book would cost so much to make. I couldn't afford it. I was sad and disappointed, but I took it in stride and lowered my sights, at least for the time being. I was sure I could still do blank journals, even if they were boring. I just needed to choose options that would bring the cost down on each component, go with a standard smaller size, and eliminate every unnecessary special touch. Sounds awful, doesn't it? But it was that or nothing. I was quite proud of and surprised by my ability to pivot that way. I guessed I must still be riding the thrill of having sidestepped the demon's dumb rule about my money. Back to the printers, binders, and paper suppliers I went. I took about another month to accept that I still couldn't afford my precious journals, even without my gorgeous design. Not even if I matched the grant with my personal money. Not even if I settled for the rock-bottom cheapest options I could find, which I might have settled for if I could have charged a price commensurate with the lower quality and still made a reasonable profit. That's when the demons showed up with this long, ridiculous rule, a real winner. I am not to keep trying to push when things aren't going my way, because things will never go my way, because that is my destiny. I must accept defeat and understand that none of this is my fault. It's just the way things are. I must understand that to put in a lot of work and giving it my best will only lead to harsher disappointment. I must always quit before I waste too much time, and then I'm to treat myself to lots of solitaire naps and binge watching while I recover from the terrible turn of events that will occur each time I make the mistake of trying to tempt fate. I did as I was told and vegged out furiously for a couple of weeks, until during one particularly delicious nap, I woke up thinking, "Shove me aside." Then, what the hell? That was rude and mean. I felt a bit shaky and lay there sulking. till I realized that was a message from behind the shroud that covers the mystery that is life. I grinned and ran to my journal to contemplate the meaning of this mysterious message. Eureka! I realized my project was far from finished. Shove me aside only meant that I needed to shove aside the part of me that believed those old, stupid, mean-spirited, false rules were inescapable. A new part of me had surfaced and saved the day. She had probably been shaken awake when I obliterated that other rule, the one about not investing my money in myself. She took over from Goody Two-Shoes rule follower and asserted two mandates of her own. First, I would use the time spent resting and playing not to lick my wounds like some poor helpless creature, but to clear my head and then decide on my next course of action. It didn't take long in that mindset to see that I just needed to make another minor adjustment. The first small adjustment took me from gorgeous blank journals featuring my artwork to plainer journals featuring my artwork. This new small adjustment took me from plain journals to finding a different type of reproductions altogether, ones that I could actually afford. With a little more research, I found plenty of them that I could happily work with. And voila! Just like that, I was back in business. Her second mandate made it clear to all, including the demons, that she had taken charge. She declared that it was high time I invested in myself. I personally matched the money that Wivla had provided, which gave me enough to do the newly revised plan justice. Touche, demons! More opportunities to pulverize other asinine rules followed. Bam! There went the one that governed what girls can and can't do. It had a twin that covered what children can and can't do, which had morphed into an adult version dictating what I specifically can and can't do. Boom! Take that, you Weasley demons. And then there was the relatively new commandment that covered all forms of technology. It stated, or I should say did state, I am to fear technology. I am to accept that I will never be able to master it. If I decide to try to master some form of technology, I will reference the rule about accepting defeat quickly. Oops, I demolished that rule just last week. I guess I can go ahead and figure out how to set up a website. Not sorry, demons. I was on a roll, working toward my goal like I'd never done before, and having a blast. But then a slight feeling of uneasiness arose in my gut, and sleep became difficult. I reduced my caffeine, but the uncomfortable feeling grew. I cut out caffeine altogether and drank sleepy time tea with valerian root during the day, and still barely slept. The tight feeling became clenching knots. At its worst, I could barely walk, much less work. Then it came to me that I was disregarding the oldest and most destructive rule the demons had ever devised for me. No wonder they were retaliating with such vengeance. Seeing how happy I was, watching me dismiss their insane rules like so many annoying gnats, they surely knew they were coming to their last chance to subdue me. Once and for all, they needed to stop this nonsense of mine, this foolish belief I'd adopted that I could live the life I wanted by investing in myself. The one weapon they had left had more power than all the other rules I had already demolished put together, and I was flaunting it in their God-forsaken faces. Those monsters were out for my blood, and the harder they beat on me with that rule, the harder I fought them. I had come so far, better to die than to go back to living under all those unholy rules. The demons had even updated that rule to fit the occasion. It now stated, I must accept that I am only capable of creating trash. The work I've done over the last months on this project is proof of that. I must always stop before it's too late, before everyone gets to see what a joke it all is. What a joke I am. I must stop before they all see how utterly incompetent I am. I must stop this project now before I lose every shred of dignity. They beat me with this terrible nonsense for 3 days. I fought and cried and gnashed my teeth and fought some more, and still the knots in my gut continued to tighten. I began to think that they just might win this battle. I pulled out my last remaining weapon. I called my BFF, told her everything about the demons, about the earlier victories over them, about the final mightiest rule that we were fighting to the death over. She did what BFFs do. She brought out all the right tools to hold me up while I regained my strength and my faith that I could keep going to the end, which by now was just 1 week away. She said all the right things, let me cry as long and hard as I needed, made sure I knew I wasn't alone, reassured me that asking for help was not a weakness but a strength, reminded me that what I had already accomplished for this project may not be perfect, but it was enough. As soon as we hung up the phone, I knew that the battle was over and hallelujah, I had won. Right away, the knots began to let go, one after another. I asked my husband to give me a hand come morning, which made him happy to be needed and freed up a little extra time for me. Then I went to bed and slept like a woman who had battled demons and won. Thank you.
Yay.
It was great.
Breaking
Fabulous.
rules. I love it. Love it.
I
I
see all
think
these
that's
little
what
That's
little
fantastic.
messages floating up and down. Thank you
We
very
all have
much.
demons.
that's
That
what
was
WIVLA is
great.
all about. That's what WIVLA is all about.
That
is.
that is very true. That's the mindset I was in. I've been in since I got my Echo grant. Yay.
Mhm.
So fabulous.
But I really can't say enough of how thankful I am to have found WIFLA.
Mhm.
Mhm. I think you wrote so vividly, Gail. You wrote so personally that it was very touching, and it takes me back to where I thought I was a poet that was just about an inch tall, and I didn't think I could call myself that. And WIVLA has done a lot for many of us. Yeah, you wrote that so well.
Thank you very much. Well, I read someplace sometime about the fact that the absolute most important thing about writing is that it comes from your emotion, that people feel the emotion that's behind it. And I think about the things I've read and the things that moved me most, and that's the stuff that moved me most emotionally is what I remember forever,
Mhm.
Such a victorious story. I
Yes.
mean, really been able to do so much. And then to overcome those
Yeah.
obstacles that we have that are all inside of
Mhm.
us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And really to move through that.
Yeah,
And then I like the end where you call a friend.
Friend.
But you had to get to the point where you could call a friend.
Oh
And
yeah,
you
I
there
wanted so
yourself.
bad to just do it myself without any help, But that's dumb.
You just had to get to the right spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not dumb. You just had to get to the,
Yeah.
you had to be strong enough, and
Mhm.
you got strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, you can put your Patreon link on your WIVLA profile. I was checking out your
Yes, I
WIVLA
should do
profile,
that.
so just add that in there. Yes.
Yeah, I need to do a lot with that profile.
Yeah.
With the I need to get some better artwork on there, some different artwork on there. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rebecca can add her book stuff to her profile if it's not there already. Much.
Any other questions for Gail? Oh. What's that, Rebecca?
It's totally not there. I have a weird hang up that I'm getting
Gail,
over. Yeah.
is Gail still with is Gail here? Now my phone,
Yes.
my computer's messing up. Gail, I had to cut. I was in tears.
Oh,
And I'm
bless
so
your heart.
emotional right now. This is Gladys.
I know.
I was eating my dinner and I didn't want y'all to see me. But I heard everything you said, and I echo everything you said of the belief that I could do a business, or for me, for the Echo Grant was to write the workshop, and to get that out there was a dream I had been having of doing a workshop, and I'm doing them. And without the financial support of a Wivler, I pretty much say it would have been a dream deferred indefinitely. And so I understand, and your writing was so passionate, and it just spoke so hard it so spoke to my heart
I'm so
because I
glad.
understand it. And I'm so glad you were able to write it and to put life into it with emotion and feeling, because it is a lot of people don't, what's Wivler? And I said, well, it's a great organization, but it's a lifeline, because as we get older, we talk about, I'm not going to stay long, the dreams deferred. But the dreams don't become deferred. We almost put in our minds that it ain't going to ever happen. And so what Wivler does, what it does is say, yes, it is going to happen. And if we still have a little energy, we might be dragging one leg and getting tired, but if we have the energy to just dream it and do it one more time, I can do it. Wivler gives us that opportunity to do what? To do it. To do it. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I was afraid I would cry while I read it. And one thing my BFF said that she does in cases like that is her husband says to her, "Suck it up, Buttercup," or she says to him when he needs it, "Suck it up, Buttercup." So I wrote it down and I kept it where I could see it, and a couple of times it saved me from crying.
That's great.
Gail, are your journals available for purchase anywhere?
Well, no, I haven't made any yet because the money was too little even when I matched that $1,000
I
with
thought
my
I
own
saw
money.
some at your booth that you made. So
You saw what at my booth?
I thought I saw some at your booth.
Oh, no, there. I think what you're thinking of was the what do you call it? Foam board. I had some things mounted on some reproductions of my paintings mounted on foam board, and I thought those looked kind of like books in the photograph too. But no, I definitely, that's a dream that is temporarily deferred because I really love blank journal books. I love them. I want to make some, but they aren't. I think the only people who can afford to make them buy thousands at once, and that's beyond my capacity, and may be for a long time. Maybe forever. I don't. Who knows what the future holds? But I will continue to pursue that because I really truly love them. And for me, what a wonderful way to share my artwork at the same time.
You could set up an account on Fine Art America, and then they have a lot of products that you could drop ship directly, so you wouldn't have to purchase them and have them in-house.
Oh yeah, a lot of the places I researched, I asked them about that, and that's not happening in a lot of places. So that's Fine Arts. Say it again.
Fine Art America or Printify, either one would be a good option.
America, Printify. Okay, thank you. I will definitely check that out.
That's a great suggestion.
I put one in the chat also. Art of Wear, and it's WHERE. They're a Canadian company, but I've used them for stationery and other things, scarves, but they also do different kinds of
Scarves.
journals,
Mhm.
it's blank journals or lined pages or what have you. So you might want to check them out.
I
The
will.
purchase requirements are low, usually like a half a dozen or a dozen or something like that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Good to know. Thank you.
I've used Fine Art America. I think having scarves would be super cool, but I've used Fine Art America to make I have like weekender tote bags and various things like that that people have been able to order straight from my website and have it drop shipped to them, and then I just get some money for the sale. I don't have to do anything except to
Mhm.
upload my art.
Uh-huh. What's your name?
I'm Cheryl
Cheryl. Cheryl what?
Russell.
My partner.
What?
She's my partner. We're collaborating.
Oh, cool.
We met last month.
We did.
And you're a new member, right? Ish.
I joined the day of last month's meeting, so yes, I'm
Oh,
new.
that's very new. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, there's your name.
You know, I'm looking for Rebecca had to run a quick errand, and I don't see her in the screen. Oh, there she is. Okay.
There.
Oh, probably because you had it. Okay. Okay. Um, if we're ready, we can move into the drawing
Yes.
stage.
Exciting.
Drum roll.
Woo.
Who wants to start, Rebecca or Gail?
How about me in case my internet goes out again?
Okay, let's go. So Rebecca's going to pull a name from those that submitted an application for the 2026 award for the literary side.
Here it is. It is Kelly Ellis.
Oh, you will be so excited.
Oh, good. Okay.
Cool.
Yay. He's not here, but
lovely.
Yeah.
My friends.
Awesome.
Kelly, okay.
Kelly Ellis. Yay.
Yay, Kelly. Woo.
Kelly, okay.
Are we ready?
Yes.
You ready, Gail? Okay.
A little longer.
Margot, are you calling her?
Okay, here goes.
Gail's going to draw for visual.
Mary Gleason.
Whoa.
Oh,
yay.
okay.
Yay.
Is she here?
She's not here.
Oh, well, they can't win. To win.
We did not make that stipulation.
No, I'm just joking. I'm
Not
just
like
joking.
we're doing raffle tickets, it's
That's fantastic. I know she'll be excited as well. That's fantastic. All right.
Denise, she's one of our soul collage ladies.
She is, yeah. And she
Yes.
came to the class that Kathy and I facilitated. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for letting us know about your projects. We really, got so much from that. And congratulations to you both for such an amazing year and really expanding your creative arts so much. And I think also I heard from both of you is this feeling of empowerment and support and this I can do it, I can do it. And this is actually giving me something that's going to help me get there. So congratulations to both of you. All right. Susan, do we open up the floor for announcements now? Or?
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
The chats have some good information in them. We'll be able to access those through the YouTube
I can do that.
copy of
Add
this
the
show.
resources.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love that.
Awesome. Good
All
question.
right.
Good.
Margot.
Yes, I just put something in the chat about an event that I'm going to participate in. It's the first Saturday in May. It's called BYOB at the Menil, outside in the Menil, at the Menil. And it stands for Bring Your Own Beamer. So I will project 30 minutes worth of footage, mostly of John dancing, my roommate, John dancing. And it will start at 10 o'clock. We're at table 7. We're at table 7 at 10 o'clock. And we've gotten permission for him to dance with his dance videos. So I'll probably record him doing that. So it'll be like layer upon layer upon layer. So anyway, if you want something to do on Saturday, it's family friendly. It's a lot of fun. I mean, if you've never been, there's just videos projected all around the building. Starts at 8:30 and goes till 10:30. Every 30 minutes, we have new people at the stations. So it's really fun.
So is he going to be dressed up as your intestines or your stomach? What was he dressed up as? Well, I can't remember.
The colon.
Colon.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, he played my colon.
Yeah.
But yeah. The Sparkle poem I wrote is I call it Sparkle Man, and it's about John. And so I'm going to play the video on April the 30th. Instead of reading the poem, I'm going to play the video. So you'll see him in his colon dress. $1,300 for that dress, but worth every penny.
Get all the use out of it you can.
Worth every penny. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Margot, did you have your hand up?
Cori just raised her hand.
You're
on muted.
I'm going to be teaching a Coptic bound book structure at Redbird Press on Saturday. If you are interested, this one has a watercolor map, and this is my art journal. Use heavy duty paper in it so you can watercolor on it or paint in it or write in it or whatever. But it's at Redbird Press, which is on Telephone Road and Lockwood, over across the freeway from the university. So Saturday afternoon, Coptic book. Thank you.
That looks beautiful,
Catherine?
Cori. I'd love to see one in person.
Thank you, Susan.
It does. Okay. I'll have Gladys Bullock on May the 7th, and on May the 16th, I'll be speaking at May the 7th at Almond Bayou Nature Center from about 7 to 8. I'm talking about, of course, I always intertwine my poetry into the state parks, and that's going to be and I'll talk with you, Melody, about putting it in the calendar. But it's on May the 7th. And then on May the 16th, Saturday, May the 16th, big event, both of them, at REI on the southwest side of town, talking about, again, I will intertwine my poetry with the power of hiking. Y'all always know that. So I will be doing some poems that I have not done before, on Wind's Eyes and Breaking Ground. And so I'll be doing they're not necessarily nature poems, but they were definitely inspired by my hikes across the state of Texas and beyond. So if you're able, I'll be, that's May the 7th in Almond Bayou Nature Center from 7 to 8 p.m. That is a free event. The one that's at REI is a ticketed event, and it's from 1:30 to 2:30 at REI, and I'll put all that in the on the calendar. That's
Let me know if you need help. Hey, is that the same park as before? Is this that where I recorded you, or is it a different? I ask every time.
It's a totally. I love you. That was a mess. We won't go there. No,
Okay.
it is a totally different park, and it is. No, it's the Almond Bayou Nature Center. That is a free event that I would be doing at the, but I will be selling copies of my books and those particular poems um, signed copies of those poems, which have been formatted and also they're all colored and they're also laminated to last your lifetime.
Oh,
And they, and,
let me know if you need any help getting on the calendar.
yeah, that was crazy.
Catherine? Oh, sorry.
Hey,
Catherine,
how
did
you doing?
share? Yeah.
So, synchronicity update. We just closed our submissions for expectations, and got good news coming this week. I think we've got a cover selected, and the person who made the cover is here tonight, so I'm excited. So the cover, that email should go out tomorrow morning. Really excited about the expectations cover. And there is we always have to think ahead. There's a new theme coming out on May 1st. And this theme, you guys heard it first, dignity.
Mm.
So it's a good one. It's a good one. So I'm always switching hats because I'm still doing artist features for Audacity and I'm getting ready to put out expectations. And then I'm always going ahead to the next one. And it gets a little crazy. I have to remember which issue I'm on, what I'm talking about at the moment. So, but it's very exciting. And if you didn't hear at the beginning, there is a Houston Poetry and Arts Festival this weekend, 10 to 4 at the Orange Show. Kathy Crawford has a booth there. Synchronicity has a booth there, and I'm thrilled that I have a crew of 5 assisting me. This is the first time in 4 years that I'm not all by myself, and it's just really exciting. And Denise Bossart is helping me put it all in there at the beginning, and then Sandy Stromberg is the takeout crew, along with Varsha Soraya Shah and Jamie Frontier is helping out, and a couple of other folks that aren't WIFLA folks. But I'm really excited about that as well. So all going great guns at Synchronicity, really busy.
I was going to add, if anybody has a book, Gladys, that you want to sell at that event on Saturday, you can hang out at my table. But really open to anybody that wants to sell a book if they have one. So.
Yeah, and I told my folks, so Sandy Stromberg I know she's going to bring her book, but the folks who are helping me out are bringing books. Since Synchronicity, we're all online, so we don't have a lot of merch. So if you have anything you want put out there too, there's space.
Melody?
Too bad we have all these things happening at the same time.
Yes.
I'm a Gemini, but I still can't go to both of them. So I'm in a show at the Artist Gallery. I got 2 pieces in, and one of them got 2nd place. I was really excited because there's some really good photographers and some mentors in that show. And then I got a 1st place and a 3rd place in the Houston Art Society judge competition this past weekend. So that was kind of exciting too.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else? Alyssa, did you have anything to add? I know we missed you at the beginning.
No, other than my usual, check the WIVLA calendar. We have all the slots for member meetings for the rest of the year have been filled. I don't have info for all those presentations, but we've got names and I'm really excited about what's coming up. And my other usual, if any of you here have a recommendation for someone that might be a good
presenter for a member meeting or to teach a workshop for WIVLA, never hesitate to contact me and let me know. I'm always happy if I'm not able to schedule someone in the current round. We have a database that I can add them to. And so I'll put my email in the chat, but my info is also on the WIVLA website in the member directory.
Cheryl.
This is just a silly thing. I think I don't think it's not like a show or anything, but I was just accepted today. I did a bunch of calls last month. I was in a pitch challenge, and one of the things I pitched, or one of the things calls I responded to was Women Artists on the Rise. It's a book of national women who are artists, visual artists, and I believe it's 100 women. And I was selected, so I was pretty excited about that.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Definitely send that to me for the newsletter.
That's a newsletter item.
That is not a small.
Well, it doesn't come out till May, so I'll send it as soon as I get. I mean, I've got the confirmation, but there's no imagery to go with it yet because it's not pre-press yet.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Catherine, did you have something else? Your hand's still up or no? Oh, okay. I was like, more. Awesome. Okay. And Margot gave us a note in the chat about Kelly being very excited about the win. So, and I know she has some good plans for that. So, yeah, very good. All right, Susan.
I think we're at the end of our evening together, and I'm really blown away by both of the presentations. You know, I was looking down, you know, where they have the little reaction thing down below. It's like I couldn't find the right one to express really how moved I was by both of them. And you know, actually, I just have to say that each and every one of you inspire me every time we get together. So let's adjourn and hope you have a great rest of your evening. Get some rest. Get ready for your day tomorrow to jump in and be creative.
Yes, indeed. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Great.